Hello everyone, I am Roxanne Anthony, your Mid-Atlantic Math K-5 Math ISS. Welcome to segment 2 of our Mathematics Collaborative Professional Learning titled Expressing Mathematical Reasoning. As a reminder, for school year 2021, our district math goal states the Mid-Atlantic District will increase math proficiency on the DCAS Summative Assessment by 3% on subclaim C. Objective 1 states the Mid-Atlantic District students in grades 3 through 5 will show growth in subclaim C, expressing mathematical reasoning from 49% to 52% as measured by the CCRSM Summative Assessment by the end of school year 2021. And of course, grades K through 2 will support these efforts through intentional instructional planning with student exposure to expressing mathematical reasoning. Similar to segment 1, our learning targets will move us towards developing a shared understanding of item types and scoring on the DCAS DCAS Comprehensive Assessment System Math Summative. During our time, we will also review SMP1 and SMP3 and examine strategies for improving student practices in problem solving, perseverance, and constructing viable arguments and critiques of reasoning of others. You may be wondering, what does subclaim C looks like in first grade? Let's take a look at a sample grade 1 subclaim C item type question. In this example problem, first graders are being asked to use mental math to write the numbers that are 10 less than 89 and 10 more than 89. This first section requires students to compute. In the bottom segment of the assessment item, students are being asked to show or explain how they know their answers are correct. Now, let's take a look at how a student would be scored on such an item. On the rubric provided, you will notice that students can achieve a max score of 3 points if all 3 elements are demonstrated through their responses. 2 points are provided for the computational component, while 1 point is provided for the reasoning component. The reasoning component is critical. In this sample first grade response, you will see a student response that has earned full points for the reasoning component. In my best child voice, let me reread the first grader's response. I know that 10 less than 89 is 79 because if you subtract 1 from 8, it would be 77, and the ones stay the same, so it would be 79. And I did the same thing with 10 more than 89, but I added. Now, as you can see, to get to this level of response, intentional instructional planning on crafting and putting one's thinking has to be a consistent practice. The rubric presented highlights the 3 elements required in a student response. Part A, a reasoning response. Part B, a computation element, and a modeling element for a total of 3 points. As you can see, if a student knew how to accurately add 45 plus 39 computationally to acquire a score of 84, or a response of 84, but could not model their thinking nor explain using words and numbers the error in the solved response, only 1 of the 3 points would be earned. Take a minute to review a sample student response and see if you can identify specific instructional lessons needed to be carried out within the classroom for students to successfully provide the response to Part A's reasoning component. I will pause for a minute. So where do we go from here? Well, for starters, a true understanding of beginning with the end in mind must be understood. Does this mean teaching to the test? Absolutely not. To effectively provide exposure to math items that requires mathematical reasoning, instruction must be planned with the end in mind. Subclaim C items are about communicating mathematics beyond procedural fluency. Students should be afforded plenty of practice in expressing mathematical reasoning in writing. Instructors must consider creating and fostering learning environments where students engage with mathematics through standard mathematical practices, also known as SMPs. SMP1 is our first suggested recourse in moving towards the engineering of a learning environment that fosters intentional student practice in expressing mathematical reasoning and writing. So what exactly is SMP1? Well, Standard Mathematical Practice 1 requires students to make sense of problems and persevere in solving them. In essence, it means when given a problem, students can make a plan to solve it and check their answer. There are varied strategies such as cubes and UPSI, you may know as UPSC, but what about perseverance when solving mathematical problems that require students to express their mathematical thinking? When we think of perseverance, consider the mindset it requires. Let us distinguish between students with a fixed versus growth mindset. A student with high perseverance is one who consistently exerts high effort. He or she stays on task, works hard on challenging yet potentially rewarding tasks, and does not give up. We would consider the student to have a growth mindset. You may hear them saying or acknowledging that trying harder makes me smarter. Students with growth mindsets believe that intelligence can grow and improve in response to effort, good strategies, and help from others. From this perspective, an academic challenge is not a threat to one's ability. It's merely an opportunity for learning and improvement. In the face of a difficult problem, a growth mindset student is more resilient. They seek appropriate help, or they may decide to switch strategies. The student does not hide confusion. Now, in contrast, a student with low perseverance may demonstrate attributes of one with a fixed mindset. You may hear them say or thinking, if I have to try hard at math, I'm not smart at math. So again, if I have to try hard at math, I'm not smart at math. At the most basic but powerful approach, teachers can start each day or each week with a simple quote to empower and retrain the minds of their students. Quotes can help develop positive mindsets in young learners. Since failure is inevitable, here's one to consider. Failure, students, is not the opposite of success. It is part of success. Handing out a series of multi-step word problems for students to complete should not be our first resolve. Let's consider another approach to student perseverance. You may have guessed it, embedding and modeling perseverance to where it becomes a regular part of your class culture. Just as important is the modeling of resilience. Once again, intentional creation of opportunities that require resilience in problem solving can be key. So how have you implemented SMP1 this school year? Before you share with us, please navigate to the Schoology course platform. Take part in a listening activity to explore how the founder of Math Plus Academy fosters perseverance in the math classroom. To carry out this activity, navigate to the section titled Schoology Course Activity 5, Implementing SMP1. There, you will partake in a listening activity first, and then proceed by sharing your response in the discussion thread. Afterwards, you will navigate to Schoology Course Activity 6, where you will partake in Segment 3. Thank you, educators, for your time today. I am Roxanne Anthony, DCAS Mid-Atlantic K-5 Math ISS for the New York, Virginia communities.